Hey guys, my name is Dylan with the Anime Summary. Before school, Yuichi, a high school student, is riding his bike back to work covered in sweat. The owner congratulates Yuichi for his hard efforts so early in the morning and hands him a drink. He tells the owner that he needs 70,000 yen to attend the school field trip and promised his friends that he would go. In class, while Yuichi is sitting down, he's approached by Shibe, one of his friends, reminding him that if he wanted to, his dad would have sent him 70,000 yen to pay for the trip instead. Shiho, the girl with long black hair, congratulates Yuichi on obtaining the money along with Tenji, the guy in glasses, and Yutori, the girl with brown hair. But then the teacher announces to the students that the 2 million yen collected for the school field trip was stolen. Shiho says sorry in front of the class in tears about losing all the money for the trip. Later that night, Yuichi is just chilling in his apartment. When he goes outside, he gets a letter from Shiho. After reading the letter, he and his friends schedule a meeting to meet up in front of the school at 11 to talk about something important. Shiho is confused on why he sent him a letter, and Yoichi realizes that he and his friends are being set up. All of a sudden, Yoichi and his friends get abducted and tased out of nowhere and black out. After Yoichi has a horrible nightmare, he wakes up to find that everyone has been moved into a huge white box. A door opens, then out of the door, a little kid from an old anime appears, about to greet them, named Manabu. He tells them that they're going to be playing a set of games and that for each game they clear, they will be given 2 million yen. Manabu tells Yoichi that one of his friends owes 20 million yen and that they are all playing the games to get rid of his debt. The group sits down to discuss who they think the person is with the debt. Yoichi knows that one of his friends is setting them all down with him on purpose. He tells Manabu that friends are more important than money and agrees to play the Tomodachi game. In the first game, Manabu shows the group into a replica school classroom. They receive a tag revealing on the back of it on how much they owe Split, being that if they reveal the debt to each other, they will be punished double from how much the debt is. Manabu tells them that the first game is called Kokiri, with it having 5 rounds, with the group only having to win 1 round. But if they don't win any rounds, the last place player of the group receives everyone else's debt. Shibe starts the game, being the first reader, and they answer the question wrong, with Shiho freaking out. Shiho reads the second question, with them getting it wrong again. Tenji reads the third question, with them getting it wrong the third time. Yoichi comes to terms that there is a traitor among the group wanting to sabotage everyone. The fourth question being Yoichi's turn, getting it wrong again, and now he knows that the traitor is trying to put all the debt on Yutori before the game ends. Yutori reads her question, but before they move the coin, Yoichi talks out of nowhere with an evil psychotic grin. Yoichi starts toying with Shibe's feelings about Shiho, and it makes Shiho blush. He tells the group that he knows someone is trying to put all the debt on Yutori and knows that they're not going to speak to jeopardize their own debt. Behind the scenes, some of the game developers are listening and watching the action live. They are surprised by Yoichi's bluff trying to sniff out the traitor. Yoichi sarcastically jokes about it all and just plays along with everyone since he trusts them as friends. The final round ends with the coin moving to the yes column. After the game, Yoichi asks the group together how much debt they each have. They all tell him that they should have the same debt, being 3.6 million yen left after winning the first game. He tells them that he thinks that the answers from the first game were different because of the fact that they were nervous and to trust each other moving forward for the second game. While looking for the traitor through the set cards, Shiho approaches Yoichi to make sure he's okay. Yoichi tells her that he suspects her as the traitor ever since the start of the Tomodachi game. Shiho confesses her feelings to Yoichi, then tells him that her points double when she made a little sound in the first game and wants to beat the game with Yoichi. In the hallway, Tenji is lurking, listening in on the conversation in secret. The group arrives on a rooftop of a building for the second Tomodachi game. Manabu arrives behind them, announcing the second game to be Badmouth Sugoroku. He tells them that the goal is to badmouth each other and win by sending one of them to the end of the board. Then explains to them that they will each be going into the booth separately and write something about each other. After the votes, the rounds will be decided by the viewers watching from home on who moves the furthest. The rewards for the game will be everyone receiving 400,000 yen when the game is done. Also, with everyone that is still on the board receiving an extra 1 million yen and will get to go home for the third game. But the penalty for the first person to get to the end of the board will have to play the third game. Yoichi reassures Shiho that no one would betray their friendship and is ready to start the game. Shiho tells the group that she wants to reach the end of the game together, and they start on the starting line of the game. Manabu reads the cards and tells the group that everyone left blanks and they all move to the first square together. They realize that if everyone goes together, they will owe 6 million yen by the end of the game, and then the second round starts. The group moves together one space again and gets deducted 500,000 yen. The third round starts with someone not leaving a blank card talking about Shio's romance between Tenji and Yuichi, leaving Shio to move up 5 spaces in front of the group embarrassed. Shibei gets jealous by the fact that Shiho didn't like him back and confronts Yuichi. Tenji confronts the group that he still has feelings for Shiho and gets upset with Shibei for the way he's been treating people. Shibei lifts up Tenji in retaliation and jealousy that Shiho doesn't like him back. He gets more upset, and just before he lands a punch, Yuichi steps in between them to end the fighting. Shio starts crying because of them fighting and Yutari comes to support her. But then she gets jealous of the fact that all the boys like Shiho and stares her down. The fourth round starts with Yuichi going first, telling Shio to leave her card blank. After Manabu announces that there have been 3 card submissions to the booth, breaking all of their friendships, Yutari loses it in the process. Yutari starts freaking out even more in tears at the fact that Manabu tells the group that she was compensated dating back in school. Then she looks at Shiho for the answers because she's the only one that knew of the situation. Tenji, in retaliation for Yutari, punches Shibei for toying with her. He tells Yoichi to take care of her and goes over to talk to her. Manabu shows the sinful report being that she was the only bad-mouthed card, automatically moving 5 spaces. Then proceeds to show the leaderboard of their friend group's positions. Yoichi confronts Yutari on what she's done in the past and recalls all the past trauma she has dealt with since middle school, recalling all of her old classmates and teachers that she's dealt with leading up until now. Yoichi feels sympathy for everything that Yutari has been through, having to get income to support her mom. Realizing that once she started talking to this guy, one thing led to another and Yutari panicked, having to run away. The people from home watching don't believe her and Yutari turns to Yoichi for empathy in his arms about what the people online think about her. Yoichi tells her that it isn't about how much he believes in her or not, and that no matter the past or present, he will always be there for her. He leans in forward with his hand and says something to Yutari that shocks her and apologizes to her for telling her. Management comes to terms with Yoichi being aware of his evil side as a person. Yutari gets behind Yoichi and tells him she wants to stay as far away as possible from Shiho, not believing her. Shiho is about to go over and confront her, but Tenji stops her from doing so. Tenji and Shiho have a conversation about what has happened so far in the game with each other. Shiho tells him a story about one day after school while going home she saw Yutari surrounded by a group of men in the alleyway. Shiho rescues her and when they are safe wants to know from Yutari what happened. Then she tells her about the compensating dating she's been doing and she promises not to tell anyone. Tenji gasses her up on how she's been always kind and compassionate towards others ever since she was a kid. From a distance, Shibei is getting disheartened by how the group is acting towards him. Management reacts to how Shibei is off on his own and sulks at the fact that Yoichi and Shiho have a connection and isn't included in. They also talk about the fact that he knew that Shiho liked Yoichi and that she had plastic surgery in the past. One of the management suspects that Yutari is the most sus person due to the fact that you can write something bad about yourself on the card. Though overall they suspect Yutari after all the crying she did after the group found out. We get a flashback to when before the field trip in study hall, Shiho asking the class if everyone has turned in their forms for the field trip. One of her classmates comes in to inform her to head to the media room on floor 3 fast. She stores the class funds for the field trip in her locker and leaves. Back in class, the suspect bumps into Yutari, dropping all of her papers to the ground. She says sorry for accidentally having her pen sent off of her hand and tells the person to get the wound treated. The culprit can be seen eavesdropping on the conversation with Shiho and Yutari. The whole time behind the scenes trying to bring everyone's friendship down was Tenji, with an evil smirk and making him happy to see how Shiho will react to everything he's doing. While the whole group is split and their friendship is falling apart, Tenji agrees in front of Shiho that she wasn't the one who told any lies or any secrets. In hindsight, in Tenji's mind, he's ecstatic at the fact that everyone's turning against her and will do anything in his power to destroy all of her friendships. Shiho asks for reassurance from Tenji for herself and tells her that she is starting to wonder who the fishy person is. He tells her that they will never be able to restore everyone's friendships. Tenji spreads a false narrative to Shiho, making her think that the possibility could be that Yutari wrote the note to herself. He plants seeds into her, saying that Yutari likes Yoichi as well, and that since she has no self-confidence, writing the message about herself. He still puts up an act that he's on Shiho's side, and Manabu cuts all of the love couples and commands them to get back to the game. Yoichi tells Tenji to go first and agrees to do so that no one would draw suspicion, realizing that he needs to write something about himself since he's so far behind from the rest of the group. Upon exiting the booth, he's surprised to see Yoichi attacking Shiho. They have a standoff about their feelings towards Yoichi, each getting certain things to persuade him. Shiho tells Yurtori that if she doesn't trust her, then she will stop trusting her as well, but doesn't care. Manabu redirects the group, informing that Tenji has only submitted a card and that they should continue the game. The group starts to go one by one until everyone is done submitting their card. The round ends with the group realizing that someone sent a card that revealed that Tenji lied about his age, saying he's actually a year older than everyone else. He puts all the blame on who could have told that secret to Shiho and starts to single her out to the group. They move to their respective spaces and Shiho leads the board with 18 spaces, with her landing on a special space that leads to her picking someone from the group about everything they want to know about that specific person. Tenji realizes this and panics, knowing that if she picks him, we'll find everything he's done up until now and it wouldn't matter. Just when she's about to pick Tenji, Shibe steps in front of him, volunteering to be picked. When Shiho picks Shibe, it's revealed that his dad has been seeing multiple women and has been tied into bribes and scandals among himself. Shibe is shocked and confused about his dad. Shiho raises her hand towards Shibe, forgiving him about his dad, but right before that, Tenji grabs her hand and cuts her off, saying that it's not normal to volunteer themselves to the public. Finally, they all evade Shibe, isolating him to think that he's responsible for the scandal of his dad and assumes that he put them into the Tomodachi game. When the next round starts, Manabu reads that Shibe has actually killed someone before. It makes Tenji stunned because he didn't write anything of the sort. He notices Yoichi's dark aura and grin. If you guys like what you saw, be sure to subscribe, like the video, and we'll see you in the next video. Hope you guys have a great day. Peace.